Outside, I can't get him to fetch and bring back, heel. He's always distracted.
Sure.
I took him in this hallway, and I told you, he does good. 100% on the retrieves. Really pretty well on the heel and that. Get back outside and we're just not gonna go.
So it's that case, it's the classic case of A to Z.
Yeah, I gotta have some
And
help.
how dogs don't make the jump. And so we, over the course of these days, will figure out where B is. Because like you got A, it sounds like.
Yeah.
And part of it is because you found a spot it works in. That's good. Like I was really glad. You were really excited when you called that time when you found it. What was it? It's an old schoolhouse or something?
Some schoolhouse.
So gained access, got a little creative. I tell people all the time, you gotta get a little creative at times. Like we don't, I think people, Todd, what's your setup for training? Like you've got a facility, right? Like you've got ponds and you've got, like they were dug out specific for training situations and scenarios,
Yeah,
right?
that's a different piece of property, but yeah, I mean, yes, I do have that. At my house, where I have training as well, I have a pond and acreage and, you know, just variations of the environment, you know, that I utilize, so.
Right. You've built yourself a pretty good playground. Like you've built yourself something that allows for you to set up lots of different scenarios. I'm jealous. Like you've been to my house. We got 10 acres. I'm happy about it. Don't get me wrong. We love it. We love the setup. It's a super mini version of what I wish I had. But a lot of people would go, "Oh, you've got 10 acres and a couple ponds." And they, you know, I used to live in town in a duplex that had a soccer field across the street. And I was, you know, going, man, what if I only had 10 acres? And now I go, if I only had 30 more acres. And if I had 100 acres, I'd want 100 more. But I trained a really, really nice dog in downtown Madison with no grass to pee on. But I had to get a little creative. And so in a duplex in town in Green Bay with a soccer field across the street, wasn't allowed to have my dog in the park. So what did I do? I went at night. No one was there. So I went 5 minutes from my house. There was an industrial park. And there was ditches and water things and ducks and geese. I mean, it was like kind of on the outskirts of town. And it was an undeveloped industrial park that was in the process of getting developed. And I turned that into pretty nice training grounds. And then I went to Cabela's and did a seminar not too long ago in Rogers, Minnesota, and I walked behind there, and I saw all this development of retention ponds and dikes and ditches, and I went, oh my God, what I could do here. Well, the grass is always greener on the other side. Like I could train. I come here and I go, oh my gosh, look at there's 600 acres here of setups and scenarios and all this stuff. I'm telling you right now, you don't need all of this in order to get a good dog. What you got to do is work with what you got. So Dan finds an old schoolhouse, gets access to it, and got really creative. Now, if someone asked me that, you know, some of your problems, some of your issues were running off with the retriever.
Yeah, keep away.
So that was it. So he says, you know, if someone were to call me, trust me, you're not the only person that runs into that. And someone calls me to ask me that, and I tell them, well, you know, maybe go down in my basement. You got an empty basement? No, don't have that. Okay. So I like softball diamonds that are back to back, and the fence, outfield fences run. That builds a nice corridor. Do you have that? No, I don't have that. So I'm trying to think of all. I never would say go find someone with an abandoned schoolhouse and see if you can get permission to do training in it. Like that doesn't come to the top of my head. But that worked for you. That's a scenario that you go, what do I have to work with? Figure it out. How to fit it into that instead of using the reason I don't have those softball diamonds that he wants to do. I don't have the ability. Chris built a runway out of snow fence. It was true UP style. It was snow fence and T-posts, right? So what's that?
Push-in T-posts.
Push-in T-posts. I mean, he didn't even go with the pounders. So that's too permanent. You know, you got to be versatile. But you called me before that, and we talked about, like, what can I do here? And he's got a dog that is a sister to Spry, Fee, and you'll see all those dogs. You probably have seen Spry. But Spry had her own problems. Fee had her problems. Chris built a channel, I think is what we call it.
The annex.
The annex, yeah. I mean, it was, so, but that takes, you know what that took? A little bit of thinking, a little bit of work. So we just have to figure out ways to stop worrying about what we don't have, figure out how to work with what we do have.